Hey guys, this is David.
And this is Julian.
And welcome to Set and Pass. Today I'm going to be profiling my Prank Kids deck profile. This is a deck that it's been around for a little while, but recently got some new support in the form of a Link 1 monster, which makes this deck pretty top tier. I would say what, tier 2, tier something like that. But they have a lot of one-card starters, and anytime you hear one-card starter, that deck merits some attention from duelists.
Yeah, the consistency in the deck definitely brings up to at least a tier 2, low tier 1.
Oh yeah, it's pretty strong. But you guys be sure and like, comment, and subscribe if you guys enjoyed the video. And we're gonna go ahead and get right into it without any further ado. So starting off with the Prank Kids, we run 3 copies of Prank Kids Fansies, 3 copies of Prank Kids Dropsies, 3 copies of Prank Kids Lampsies, and 3 copies of Prank Kids Roxies. These are the 16 main deck monsters. If you don't know what they do, Fansies, whenever it is used as a link or fusion material, it sends a Prank Kids monster, Prank Kids card from deck to grave and specials another Prank Kids from the deck. Dropsies, it lets you gain 1,000 life points and specials another Prank Kids from the deck. Prank Kids Lampsies burns your opponent for 500 life points and specials another Prank Kids monster from the deck. And Prank Kids Roxies banishes 1 card in your hand for you to draw another card, then specials a Prank Kids monster from the hand or deck. Basically,
1-card combos.
Yeah. There's
what it is.
crazy combos you can do with these decks. They extend all into each other, but their effects are only once per turn, hard once per turns. But and you just keep building boards as long as you're fusion summoning or link summoning Prank Kids monsters. So those are it for the main deck Prank Kids monsters. Let's get on to some other cards I play. I play 3 copies of Parallel Exceed, and the reason why I play 3 copies of this card is because if you go into your Meow Meow or your Doodle Doo, you can then summon a Parallel Exceed, then summon another one, then go into Trap Tricks Rafflesia, and you'll have. I play 1 copy of Gravedigger's Trap Hole in the deck to stop things like Ash Blossom and Joyous Spring, Nibiru. Trying to some protection since we did lose Called by the Grave on the last ban list. Next up is some hand traps. I play 3 copies of Ash Blossom and Joyous Spring, probably the most generic hand trap. Stops all main searchers and decks and such. 3 copies of Nibiru the Primal Being. Again, it's another high impact hand trap that can help stop decks like, well, not really stop, but slow them down. Decks like Dragon Link, decks like Infernoble Knight. And then the last hand trap I play is 3 copies of Infinite Impermanence. Just one of the best hand traps. It doesn't activate Triple Tactics Talent because it is a trap card, so it's just better in my opinion than Effect Veiler right now.
Just a stronger Effect Veiler.
Yeah. But if you can't afford Impermanence, again, Effect Veiler is a really good replacement. Now we go on to the spells, guys. We got 3 copies of Prank Kids Place along with the 1 Terraforming. This is basically another starter card because it searches you for a Prank Kids monster upon activation, and then you normal summon and just keep going on with your combos. Then also it has an added effect. If you fusion summon a Prank Kids monster, all monsters you control gain 500 attack. If you link summon a Prank Kids monster, all monsters your opponent controls lose 500 attack. So it can just help beef up your monsters and decrease the attacks of your opponent's monsters. Next up, we got 3 copies of Prank Kids Pandemonium. This is their in-archetype fusion spell. It lets you special summon a Prank Kids fusion monster by using any Prank Kids monsters as fusion materials, but it does lock you into Prank Kids for the rest of the turn. So if you have Polymerization in your hand, it's probably the better option because then you can also go into things like Totally Awesome and Trap Tricks Rafflesia if you haven't gone into her yet. Then we play 3 copies of Polymerization. Like I said, probably the better option. It's just not searchable like Prank Kids Pandemonium is, and sometimes you gotta go for the Pandemonium instead. 2 copies of Prank Kids Pranks. This card is pretty good too. It's another starter card. While its face-up effect is you can discard 1 card and summon a Prank Kids token, so then you can use that as link material or fusion material, whatever you need. And then the in-phase effect helps you with some of your recyclability of the deck. You get to target 3 Prank Kids cards in the graveyard, shuffle them into the deck, and draw a card. Then next up, I also play 2 copies of Pot of Avarice. You do go through your resources really quickly in this deck, and turn 1, it's very foreseeable that you could be using Pot of Avarice. Then for the 1-ups, I play 1 copy of Instant Fusion. It used to be the deck's best starter card. Now it's limited, but it's still a great card to play. 1 for 1, this can help you get out Fansies if you don't happen to draw it. This card I've been debating on whether or not to take out, because, I mean, in testing and in duels, I have never opened a hand where I didn't have a way to get to a Prank Kids monster. Not saying that wouldn't happen, but, I mean, this is basically a 17th starter card.
That or it's an easy side.
Yeah, it's an easy side out as well. Yep. But yeah, it gets you to Fansies since he's a level 1, and then you just go on with your combo from there.
Do the Harpies in it?
Yeah, Harpy's Feather Duster would be a good replay. I might actually do that, so yeah, that might be good. Then we got 1 copy of Thunder Dragon Fusion. Since
Colossus is that bad.
this has nothing to do with Colossus.
It hurts me, okay?
Thunder Dragon Colossus got banned a while back, and Julian's still crying about it. But it's a good card, but you know it's broken. Come on.
Yeah, I know.
But anyway, the Prank Kids Battle Butler is a Thunder monster, so we can shuffle the materials for him into the deck from the graveyard, and then we can also send this with our Predaplant Verde Anaconda in order to summon out the Battle Butler. But that's all for the spell cards, guys. Then lastly for traps, I play 1 Prank Kids Plan, lets you link summon during your opponent's turn. Pretty good. And then its graveyard effect lets you banish it and shuffle as many Prank Kids cards from your graveyard into the deck, and one of your Prank Kids will gain 100 attack during a battle phase. And then, like I said before, 1 copy of Gravedigger's Trap Hole with that Rafflesia play helps guard you against hand traps and such. And that's it for the main deck, guys. Now we'll get into the extra deck. Starting off, we got 2 copies of Prank Kids Battle Butler. This guy is amazing, especially in tandem with the new Link monster, because the Link monster says if you would tribute a Prank Kids monster to activate their effect during your opponent's turn, you can banish Prank Kids Meow Meow from the grave instead. And the cool thing about that is that their effects are not once per turn. So if you go Battle Butler effect and they chain like Infinite Impermanence, then you can go ahead and chain his effect again, and then actually tribute him because you already banished the Meow Meow.
That's kind of dumb.
It's pretty dumb, but it's one of the things that makes this deck so good. We got 2 copies of Prank Kids Rocket Ride. Rocket Ride's really good because you fusion summon him. That gets you 2 Prank Kids to the field. Then you tribute him for an additional 2 Prank Kids monsters. So yeah.
Spraying out your boards.
Yes. Prank Kids Weather Washer. This one's for fusion summoning during your opponent's turn. During your opponent's turn, you can tribute it, and it special summons 2 Prank Kids monsters, but they cannot be destroyed by battle until the end of the next turn. Then on to the links, we've got 1 copy of Prank Kids Rip Roaring Roaster. He is the same as Battle Butler, except he destroys all spells and traps. So again, you could use the Meow Meow to banish it, and then if they impermanence it, you can chain his effect once again. We got 2 copies of Prank Kids Dodo Doodle Doo. Probably the main searcher extra deck monster, and whenever it's link summoned, you get to search your deck for any Prank Kids spell or trap and add it to your hand. And then his other effect is you can tribute him and add any 2 Prank Kids non-link monsters from your graveyard to your hand. 1 copy of Bow Wow Bark. I've been going back and forth on this card whether or not I want to play it too. But so far at 1, with the recyclability of this deck, and cards like Called by the Grave are limited, there's less of a chance of it getting out of your graveyard, you know, by being banished or anything. So I think 1 is fine for now. Then we got 2 of the new Link monster, Prank Kids Meow Meow. Prank Kids Meow Meow, it's a Link 1, and its effect says if a Prank Kids monster would activate its effect on your opponent's turn, you can banish it from the graveyard instead of tributing that monster. So pretty good. And that's it for the Prank Kids extra deck monsters. Finishing it out, we've got 1 copy of Access Code Talker, probably one of the most powerful Link 4s we have, probably if not the most powerful. Then we got 1 copy of Predaplant Verde Anaconda, like I said before, to go into to use it to send the Thunder Dragon Fusion and then get out the Battle Butler. 1 copy of Trap Tricks Rafflesia with the Gravedigger's Trap Hole to try to stop hand traps your opponent may play, and 1 copy of Totally Awesome because your Prank Kids Dropsies are level 2 Aqua monsters, so you could use them to summon Totally Awesome. And that is it, guys, for the deck profile. Prank Kids are really strong, really powerful, really consistent. And like I said, I've never opened a bad hand with this deck. It's always been able to go full combo off of just one single monster. But that's it for the deck profile. You guys be sure and like, comment, and subscribe if you enjoyed. My name's David.
My name is Julian.
And
this is
was Set
the
in
Pass.
And we will see you guys in the next video.